Crap with Beth and Matt. Cut the Crap is the world's #1 no bullshit health and fitness podcast. Hey there, and welcome to another episode. This week we are answering your questions from Instagram. We discuss calorie deficits and intuitive eating, whether or not you should take creatine, perimenopause, and more. Let's get right into it. So, do you want to get into some of the questions that we've got then? So we put up the Instagram
Let's
questions
do it.
onto our stories.
I feel like I threatened my my followers. When I first posted the Q&A, I gotten like barely any questions, maybe two.
Yeah.
And it was like already like 3 to 4 hours in, and I'm like, okay, you guys. I don't know about you, when I put a regular Q&A box, it's hard to answer all of them. And
Me too. Yeah.
And so I'm like, why aren't you guys putting any questions when I can actually maybe answer them for you on a podcast?
And go as long as you want and give as much context and detail.
Yeah, without this like one little screenshot, freaking word and 10-second cutoff.
Yeah, not 10 seconds. I hate how the Instagram stories.
Why do they do that? That drives me nuts.
Yeah, for sure.
So then they started rolling in.
Got it. Good. Well, hopefully that means they're going to listen then. I know they're not going to get the instant answers that we can provide on our stories, but we're going to give much better answers because we can take time to elaborate. So perfect. Yes. Well, I'll take honors of the first one because I think this is a really good segue, way to get started. So Virginia Strom asked a really great question. She said, how did you and Beth meet? What made you decide to collaborate?
Oh, cool question.
It is a cool question. So how do we meet? We met on TikTok, right?
We met on TikTok probably over a year ago.
I would say very, very early on
in 2020.
Yeah. I was still in my old place. So that was September of last year. So it's been at least over a year. So
yeah. And I think we just TikTok is a great place to have community. And I think it's important to really meet people that are like-minded. Mm-hmm. So I think we just maybe commented on each other's stuff. We started following each other, and then we would get tagged in the same videos all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it started out with us doing a weekly live, which I don't even know how that came about either.
I think because you know what it was. First of all, like you said, everybody was tagging us in each other's or in our videos and other videos, bullshit videos that they wanted us to cover. So our followers and friends, they kind of made this happen. But I think the reason why the live streams that started in the first place was because you and I were always just sending screenshots of our ridiculous fucking comments that we were receiving together, or like the troll comments or our clapbacks, talking shit back to people. And we just got a good kick out of that. So we just started chatting more. And then we did that one video. Do you remember that the keto Connie or the carnivore Connie video?
Yes. Oh my God, that's right.
So that was.
I should repost that actually.
Yes, great idea.
I'm gonna do that today.
Cool. I'll do that in a couple of days then too myself. So the carnivore Connie was like our first, I think, actual collaboration where we did that video together. And then we were like, this is a lot of fun. People loved it. So we did our weekly lives on TikTok there, and we should do a fucking podcast. Here we are.
Yeah, I know. Pretty exciting stuff.
Now, it's really cool too, to elaborate on that question a little bit more then too, is we haven't officially met yet in person, but we're planning on it, right? So next August, I believe. You're planning the hiking trip for us all. So that's going to be pretty cool.
That's going to be super fun.
Really looking forward to it.
And like you said, I think we should video. The only thing is, it's not there won't be any you're in the freaking really high up above tree level. So
a drone.
We won't have internet so we'll have to do it. But I did record a TikTok when I did it.
Because you don't need internet access to record the video.
Right. I was just recording each thing, so we could do that and save it. And then that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that would be cool.
But that would be really cool to have a videographer up there with some cool
I agree.
Like Enrico with a drone.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that would be really cool to have a drone coverage.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yep. So that's kind of our story of how we met, and now we lived happily ever after in podcasting land. So.
Right.
All right. So do you have a question for us?
Oh yeah. Let's see. Okay. Kickboxing Kim.
Ooh, I like that name.
Great apps to use to help with successful tracking of exercise, food, weight, etc. Okay, I like this because there
Okay.
are separate apps for all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I actually don't know. Do you know of any app where you can track your exercise? Because I think I'm sure there is where you can track like your sets and reps and like weights each week. Do you know of any?
Yeah, I know of a couple. I think bodybuilding .com actually has one, but
Mhm.
that's by you have to use their exercises that are in there, but that might be more helpful to somebody, the person that was asking that question anyway.
Yeah.
Kickboxing Kim, was it? Um, but then there's also this other app that I used very early on when I like 2013 when I first started working out. It's called Jeffit, like JEFIT. I can't remember.
Okay.
So that allows you to track your workouts and things like that. But me personally, I'm old fashioned. It's in my logbook that I keep.
See, that's me. I have an old, like one of these composition books.
Yeah,
I must have like a million of them. And this is like 2019 workouts right
I
here.
love that.
All that. Like,
That's a
and I
very good way
really,
that you can measure your progress too. Look
I
back, just
love
like we were talking about
handwriting it and, and I don't know.
your
I find it so
observations and things
cool.
like that,
Yeah.
right? Like, and
Mhm.
that was really fucking hard for some reason. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. For food, I like my Fitness Pal or Lose
yeah.
It. It's really chronometer. I guess it's all like really individual. And then for weight, Happy Scale, I find to be really good.
See, I've never personally used that one, but I hear good things, and
Yeah.
so yeah, I want to touch on the MyFitnessPal thing too. I agree with you entirely on that, but I also just want to throw out the caution for people to not get how many calories they need
Right.
from MyFitnessPal because
Yeah.
that will greatly um, give you underestimate your caloric needs. It's going to give you too much of a deficit. Probably if you're a female, you'll probably get about 12 or 1300 calories.
Yeah.
MyFitnessPal is notorious for that. So don't use that to calculate your calories, but just to track your
Yeah.
food, perfectly
Where
good.
should they figure out to calculate their calories?
I personally prefer the iifym.com macro calculator. That
Mhm.
means that's if it fits your macros for anybody listening. Um, you don't have to track the macros that they give you, but you can track the protein and the calories. Or I'm kind of biased here too. I also have a calorie calculator that people can download from me. If you can just go to my Instagram or TikTok and click the link in my bio and they can download it there. Um,
Yeah.
I think you have one too, don't you?
I have one on my website too. Yeah.
There you go. So there's
Yeah.
our three preferred options.
And they're all really the same.
Yeah.
You're going to see the numbers might be slightly off, but I think
Yeah.
I hear that all the time.
Mhm.
You just have to pick one that's not too restrictive and stick with it for at least 30 days. Like,
Yeah. What I actually recommend, because I got that question yesterday on a sales call.
mhm.
Uh, she's like, I used your calorie calculator and it gave me 1600, and then I used this other site and it gave me 2000. She's like, which one should I use? I'm like, that's a great question. What I would recommend, use the high one.
Yeah.
So use the 2000, do that for a few weeks consistently, and then adjust it if you need to. So I'm always
Right.
erring on the side of going higher.
Higher. Yeah, absolutely. Never start lower. Always go to the higher one for
Gives you
sure.
more wiggle room.
Yeah, you have a place to go.
You can't cut from nothing essentially too. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
all right. So there was three questions in that one about the three different apps, or was it just an exercise?
Yep, I think we hit every single one of them.
Okay, great.
All
Great.
right. Hope that helped Kickboxing Kim,
Yeah, I love that name too.
right?
So I've got one here. I'm using bands because I work out from home. What are your thoughts or advice? Thanks. Um, I think resistance bands have their place, especially for those of you at home that don't have access. They're affordable. They're not time sucking or not time sucking. They don't take up a lot of space. So for that, they're admirable, and they helped me get through the pandemic like many others.
Yeah.
Um, I try to get my clients to invest in dumbbells or kettlebells or something
Yeah,
instead,
for sure.
or even TRX bands or something. Resistance bands are fine, don't get me wrong, but you're not doing full range of movement with resistance bands, and it's not constant tension either. Because when you stretch the band, the tension, the resistance is going to be higher. When you're letting it relax, there's not as much tension. You're not working as hard. But I will recommend them if that's all you have access to do, at home. Then absolutely go for it. That's
They have their place, like
they do.
face pulls and band pull aparts and things like that. But
Yeah.
I think they can only go so far in other areas, really.
Yeah, that's a great point. I keep it
Mobilities, they're good for mobility.
mobility work. Yeah. And prehab
Mhm.
work. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I do band pull aparts, 5 sets of 20 as in part of my warm up routine every day,
yeah,
for
same with
shoulder
my
health.
bench.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Activate
Mhm.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I love that.
Internal and external rotations too are really good. If you have the band and you're, you can see going like this, in and out like
Yep.
that,
Yeah.
good for rotator cuff health.
And
But
that's stuff that people, even if they're not working out in the gym, I think everybody should probably be doing that anyway, because
mhm,
we're sitting down all the fucking time now.
yeah,
We literally sit for 10 to 12 hours a day, most people, because
yeah.
fair to say that. So you're slouched over, and this will help you with having good shoulder health.
Mhm. Yes.
All right.
Am I next?
You are next, and go ahead and pop off a couple because I don't have many questions. So,
All right. Let's see. How to battle perimenopause. I'm 45 while strength training and being in a calorie deficit. Abram Os 913. All right. How to battle perimenopause. So you're still strength training and in a calorie deficit. I feel like I need more context to this, but because there's a lot, and everyone has different perimenopause symptoms. I can only
yeah.
speak for myself, really. And actually, I'm about to try to figure out if I can get on some HRT, because I just have really horrible anxiety and premenstrual. I don't want to get into the whole thing, but I think it's important to really go talk to someone first and see if you can get help, because some of the symptoms can be debilitating,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
like mood swings and just really fucked up shit. But you just do the best you can. I think it's really important to really eat nutrient dense foods, get your sleep. And this is for anybody, really. Like, try not to drink as much either. It's like pouring gasoline on your menopause symptoms. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Strength train and like you're doing, being in a calorie deficit. So other than that, you know,
Yeah. There you go. There you go. You covered that one. I mean,
treat your body the best you can.
yeah, we were talking about that with Kim Schlag, right? A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's you're focusing on the same things that you would be focusing on even if you weren't in perimenopausal. You just have to
Mhm.
really dial them in a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, like talk to someone, talk to your doctor, find someone, a woman's doctor, that can support you. I think
Yep.
that's important.
Yeah, for sure. All right. You got another one picked out? I know you sent me your list too, so I can pick one out from random if you'd like me to.
Yeah. Why don't you, yeah, do that.
Okay. This one actually stuck out to me earlier. So Virginia Strom. Oh, she asked me a question and she asked you a question. So Virginia,
Okay, cool.
you're
Hi,
getting two
Virginia.
questions here, Virginia. Lucky you. She said, you talk about basic movements for working out, push, pull, etc. Can you maybe elaborate on that a little? And I love that question.
Yes.
So yeah, there's, really 7 fundamental human movements. We've got pushing, pulling, squatting,
Okay.
hinging,
Hinging,
lunging, carrying,
carry.
and walking, right? Which you could argue that carrying and walking are in the same boat, but
Mhm.
so that's it. So for elaboration purposes, let's talk about a push, right? So some pushing options we have. We want to do a horizontal
Push
push,
up,
so away from us. Yep, a push up, and then something up over our head.
overhead press.
Yeah,
Yep.
overhead press. You don't need to use a barbell. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that, especially starting out. You can do dumbbells. You can literally take something at home, a rock or something, and do it. It
Yep.
doesn't matter. Machines are great. Resistance bands, like we talked about earlier, those are great as well. So then we've got pulling, right? So we got
Yep.
pull-ups
Pull-ups,
and
chin-ups,
chin-ups, rowing. So
rows. Yep.
pulling things to your body. That's really the variations right there. Now rowing could be barbell rows, dumbbell rows, standing, seated, bent over, lots of different variations. Seated on a cable versus lat pull downs and all this other stuff. So
Yeah.
and and pulling movements. What's important to emphasize with the pulling movements is vary your angles that you're pulling from and your grip.
Mhm.
It's very, very important to switch that up. You don't just want to pull in one range of one plane
Right.
every time, straight back, or find different angles, different hand placements. pronate and supinate your hands, things like that. So lots of different angles, lots of different grips.
Yeah.
All right. Your turn.
All right.
Oh no, wait, shoot. We didn't cover all the movements, did we? Sorry.
Okay, you did push and pull. So we have hinge, which would be like deadlift.
Squatting, of course, we got front squats and back squats.
Good mornings.
Good mornings for hinging, yeah. And then literally walking is walking. Go for a walk. Right. Carrying would be picking something up and walking with it.
Farmers carries.
Yeah, twisting, anti-rotational, things like that.
Yeah. See, those are all the basic fundamental movements. And then you pick, there's so many exercises for each single one. Yeah. And that's,
there's no right or wrong one either. Like don't stress about which one of those that we just told you about to choose. Just choose one. You could literally do one from each of those groups and just fucking do that consistently. Do it for like 4 to 6 weeks and get progressively better at it every week. Every time you do that movement, I guarantee you will make strength gains. You will improve, and you'll see results in 4 to 6 weeks, because that's very measurable whether you're making progress or not.
For sure. Okay, I like this one. How to deal with family making weight, food choice comments regarding my children.
Oh, regarding their children. I thought they were talking about themselves.
No.
That takes it to a whole nother fucking level. Now those are fighting words, if you ask me. Like
seriously. So how do you navigate that?
We would need to know more about their family dynamic, honestly, because how I would like if you say something like negative about my son's appearance or anything like that, I will knock you the fuck out. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not
that's
afraid to
uncalled
fight.
for right there. Yeah. And especially if you do it in front of the child.
Yeah. 100. That is even worse. Because then now you're getting your kid involved in potentially impacting their self-esteem and mental health.
Not a good thing.
I'm getting triggered just by.
I know.
My fight or flight response is through the fucking roof right now, Beth. I'm like ready to pounce on somebody.
Yes, this is from Doug Asteri. So honestly, I don't know what your situation is with that family member, but they need to have a tough conversation.
This is going to come from you as the parent.
Boundaries.
You need to let them know that is not fucking okay. And if you need to explain why they're really fucking stupid, but you can also elaborate on that too, about how it can be harmful to, your kid and everything. But also go back to fucking elementary school. It's none of your it's none of your business at the end of the day. But those boundaries are very, very hard to approach and enforce. But you got to do what's right for your kid. So we don't what that talk looks like, but at the end of the day, you need to talk with that family member. And let them know that it's not okay and set that boundary. Whether how you approach that's up to you in terms of you do it with kindness or how you do it,
Right.
Kindness usually prevails, but again, I don't know your family situation. So
yeah. All right.
Need to come down. I'm up here. I need to come down here.
Yeah.
Breathe, Matt.
Inhale the good shit, exhale the bullshit. All right. Calatexi, I'm a 47-year-old mom starting strength training, and should I take creatine and what kind? Ooh,
good question. I love all the questions that we're getting about strength training and movements.
Yes.
Fucking keep that shit coming. Like, let's change our perspective here, guys. I love it.
I know.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead, Beth.
I think she should take creatine. What kind? The kind that has monohydrate in it. And, there's a lot of different kinds out there.
There is. To
be honest,
But creatine monohydrate, you just find one and stick with it, honestly.
Yeah.
You could have the argument pill versus powder form, because they do come in the capsules. That's personal preference. I would prefer you to do it straight in the powder form, so the absorption is better.
Like 3 to 5 grams a day, I think.
There's no need to have any more than 5 grams a day, and that's something you take every day, whether you're working out or not. That's a great question. I love that question.
Yeah.
Now, do we need to explain what creatine does, or is that like a whole nother? I feel like that's a whole nother.
That's a whole nother question, I think.
Okay.
That can be
But
a
if you
whole
have
nother
questions
rabbit
about
hole.
creatine, guys, reach out to one of us and we'll be
Yeah.
happy to chat with you individually.
It's one of the most studied substances.
Yeah, it is. It's like the most studied and proven to be safe and effective.
Yeah, it's actually good for
supplement.
brain health.
Mhm.
There's a lot of good benefits, actually.
Especially as we start aging, it's even more
Mhm.
important because it can help with, like Beth said, your cognitive abilities and bone health and bone density and things like that too. So
Yeah.
take your fucking creatine.
And eat the fucking fruit.
And eat the fucking fruit.
All right, Calamari 18, calorie deficit versus intuitive eating.
Ooh, I saw that one on there.
I'm loving these fucking questions.
Yeah,
okay.
This is very educational that we're gonna this one here.
Yes.
So let's hear it, Beth.
Okay, so my thoughts are intuitive eating is not like for weight loss. Okay.
Correct.
Let's get away from that. So like calorie deficit, you obviously that's what you need to lose fat. You need to be in a calorie deficit. I think, if you are in a calorie deficit and you're tracking calories, the main goal would be to some point to go into intuitive eating, because you have learned about portions, you've learned about protein and like all that fun stuff. So,
yeah.
But also intuitive eating, like that method is for people that have had a past eating disorder, want to heal their relationship with food. Usually you have someone like a dietitian work with you with something like that.
Yeah. Intuitive eating is not for you if you have any type of physique or performance goals, because then you would be manipulating your food intake to accommodate for that, which intuitive eating is not about that. I'm a big fan of intuitive eating for the right people. It's not for everybody, like with what we just talked about with physique and things like that. But it is very useful. I do think it's the hottest. It's another one of those trends right now, and I'm probably going to piss a lot of people off with this statement. But the people in intuitive eating that promote it, to me, they're almost diet, like in the same fucking realm as diet, with the way they approach it and how toxic they can also be.
They like think counting calories is toxic.
Right. Not inherently.
Right.
So I know that's going to be a pretty unpopular opinion, but I don't care. I'm not talking shit about it. I do think intuitive eating is great. And like you said, we want to transition. I call it mindful eating, really. Because, since we have our background with tracking and doing macros and things like that, I just call it mindful. Like, let's be mindful eaters, really. But intuitive eating and the principles, are fantastic. Even if you're not looking into doing intuitive eating, even if you're wanting to eat intuitively, go check out their principles. And there's, it's about eliminating food rules and giving yourself food freedom and things like that. So which we also talk about all the fucking time.
Yeah. And like you said, if you have weight loss goals, intuitive eating is not the way to start.
No. And then there's also the argument that people will make with intuitive eating is like, well, people shouldn't be trying to lose weight. I'm like, all right, now you're, what? I'll probably really piss people off with that too. But
it's okay to want to change your fucking
business. Like, why you want to lose weight is what matters. If you're doing it for the right reasons to improve your health,
longevity,
longevity,
to be able to get up and off the floor, shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. I see a lot of shaming coming from that camp. I see a lot of shaming from all camps, but calorie tracking, everything. So it is what it is. But
anything can be disordered if you make it that way.
100%. 100%.
All right, you want to pick a question?
Yeah. Let's see here. I am going to take how to get started. Okay, so hello, Haley Brogan said, how to get started in the gym. It's intimidating and so much info out there. So how do we get started in the gym? I would recommend starting with a plan, having some type of a plan. It doesn't need to be a plan that you created yourself. And honestly, it doesn't need to be a good plan. The best plan is something that you can do consistently. There is no best or perfect plan. But what you could also do, if it's intimidating and you're just trying to build up your confidence, you can just go there and and go there and sit on a stationary bike, ride a bike a little bit, walk on a treadmill for a little bit. Do that for a couple of days, look around, watch, see where everything's at. So the layout where everything's at. So you don't walk around confused and feel stupid or something, and just ease into it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Beth?
Sure. I think the same. I think that's even what Kim Schlag said on our episode.
It is.
Just going in there and getting the feel for everything. And
Yep.
maybe, even asking someone there for help to show you around to the machines, show you like what they're used for.
Oh yeah. Why didn't I think of that?
try to get more educated on what, your gym offers also.
And I'll also say this. Now this, of course, isn't necessarily 100% true, but it fucking should be. Everybody at the gym is there to get better. And when somebody's there to improve themselves and work, like, we respect that. So don't be afraid to ask questions either. Just because I look like I'm an asshole at the gym because I have a resting asshole face, I'm more than happly to help anybody that asks for help at the gym.
Yeah,
I'll never offer my help unsolicited either. So sorry, unless you're like actually about to hurt yourself or do something really wrong, then I'll jump in. But
yeah, right. All right. Katie _Beck 93. Do you have to eat veggies with every meal? I try to eat veggies at least twice a day. No, you don't have to eat veggies with every meal. But veggies twice a day is pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. I think, it's good to have veggies with every meal, yes, but it's not realistic. So that's why, do you have to? No, you're giving yourself a rule at that point. If you say, do you have to, you're saying this has to happen. And if not, I fucked up. So that goes back to us eliminating the guilt and everything around food, right? So you don't have to, but generally, try to get it in a couple of meals.
You could. It's like if I know I'm having eggs, I'll make sure I'll throw in some spinach or maybe some leftover roasted veggies from the night before. And if I don't want veggies, I'll make sure I have some fruit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also want to say it's okay if you have a day where you don't eat any fucking veggies too.
Right.
That's absolutely going to happen. That's okay too. Yeah. Just don't make it a habit of not having any veggies ever. So
right.
Carnivore, looking at you.
Fucking carnivore, God.
All right. What do we got next?
All right, let's see. I feel like I have all different weird screenshots everywhere.
Okay, I think I had one. Okay, go ahead. You found one?
Yep. Vuothi. Should one track / limit added sugar or just track protein with calories when trying to lose fat?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that's a really good question.
I had people ask me this a lot about just tracking like sodium or sugar and all that stuff. Now unless you're diabetic or, you have to watch things like that, I don't track sugar or have anyone do that. Like protein and calories keep it simple.
If you focus on protein above anything else, you're probably going to be fine on your sugar. If you want to take it a step further to track something, track fiber.
That's another thing I always have. Actually, I just started that like recently, having my clients track fiber, 25 to 30 grams a day. And that way I know they're getting their veggies in.
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
Eating more nutrient dense foods that keep them more full. And that's kind of like, where you want to go. And then they can fit other things in. So
yeah. And hopefully everybody takes that advice. I was thinking about making a post on TikTok, like, put me out of business and then, like, do these things and there'd be no reason to hire me ever, but it's all the stuff it's already the stuff we talk about on TikTok and everything anyway. You're not paying for our information. You're paying for our expertise and time on and hands-on, right? So just a stupid joke, but I like, in terms of sugar too, I'll never set a limit for that for people unless I see like, you're really struggling with in other areas, but then you need to look at why they're struggling. But if you don't have any medical reasons, I don't think it's necessary if you're focusing on those other things.
That would get really confusing to me if I was tracking and trying. You want to eliminate the really confusing hard stuff that's going to frustrate you, because it's already a hard process. Yeah,
and going back to what we said about if you're hitting your calorie goal with the protein and fiber and everything, it's going to be very hard to go over on to eat too much added sugar. And there's going to be times when you do, but like we said earlier, just it's okay for it to happen every once in a while. Just don't make a habit of it.
Yeah.
All right. Got one? I've got
How
one.
to not,
Okay.
yeah, I was going to say how to not feel guilty around the holidays.
Yes. Go back and listen to our Thanksgiving episode.
How to talk all about that.
But, well, this episode's not coming out for a couple of weeks, so never mind.
Oh, that's true, huh?
Yeah.
Carly Spector 11. Okay.
So how to not feel guilty around eating around the holidays? It starts. Ideally, we would have started having this conversation 6 months ago, but because it's going to be hard to just on the flip of a switch to turn that off. But
it's kind of creating your health relationship with food. It's going to be a continual thing, like even through the holidays. So I think that's really where it starts.
Yeah. But again, it starts with start that now. When people are hearing this, it's going to be next year. So just start now, I guess. Start eliminating those food rules. Give yourself unconditional freedom to eat your favorite foods. You might overdo it at first. You might overeat at first, but that's part of the process of learning and listening to your body and understanding what it needs. It will drop off. You won't be eating that way all the time like you do when you first started giving yourself that freedom. So
yeah, for sure.
I've got one here. This was on my questions. Mac G Bree said the motivation to be fit is just gone to the tune of 40 pounds. I desperately want that fire back. So essentially they want that. First of all, I'm going to be very blunt with you here. If you can't be your own fire to take charge of your health, nobody else is going to do it for you. You got to own your shit. I actually just posted this on my Instagram story last night. I think Beth, you might've posted something similar just recently. I said, you've got to give yourself a chance. Give yourself a fucking chance to succeed. If you don't even take a chance to do anything, improve your health, get stronger, you're never going to do it. So take that first step. Like when it comes to not feeling motivated to go to the gym, okay, go to the gym anyway, start warming up. And then if you still don't feel like doing it, go home. But I promise you, I can't promise you, but I guarantee you more times than not, you'll be like, I'm already here. I'm going to do it. So this goes back to the whole lack of motivation thing. You're never going to be motivated. You got to start taking action and discipline to do the fucking hard things.
Yeah. It's literally action. It's literally action, Yeah. It's like, okay, do you want to be where you are today next year? I mean, let that be your motivation. You got to start somewhere. Are you going to sit here and keep asking questions and thinking about it and just wondering? That's going to get you absolutely fucking nowhere.
Correct.
So you got to, do something. Just that's the only, no one is going to save you.
No, you get
like Mel Robbins says.
I'm sorry, but no one's
fucking coming. No one is fucking coming but yourself. So you can either remain the same or choose to change. There's really.
At some point, you will be tired of your own bullshit. That's a common theme we talk about on this podcast, but it's true.
Yeah.
At some point, you're going to be tired of fucking lying to yourself if that's what you're doing. At some point, you're just going to be tired of being tired. And
maybe you're just not there yet.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you're just not there yet. Only you will know when it's there. And I promise you, I hope that it gets there for you.
Yeah. Exactly.
Tough, I guess, tough love on that one. But
yeah.
Sometimes that needs to be said.
Exactly.
All right. You got another one lined up here?
Okay, let's see. Okay, this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
She asked this again, or something else. Can one eat unhealthy foods if protein goal is reached, but has lots of calories left to eat?
Oh, okay. There's a couple things there.
Yeah. One thing I recognize, and this is what I've been noticing a lot, and even with my clients, is you give them a calorie range, right? And they're like, I can't eat that much. I've been eating so much protein and veggies that I'm having a hard time hitting my calories. Okay. When you have a calorie goal, that does not mean that you have to fucking hit that number every day, right? it's just a number to try not to go over. But does that mean like, oh my God, I need to eat 1900 calories? I'm not there yet. How am I going to do it? That's not how it works. And I think a lot of people feel that they have to, the numbers thing, they have to hit it. Okay. So I'm going to go on that. You don't have to eat that amount.
And I'll take a spin off of that too. They said something about healthy food.
Right.
We need to look at changing the way we talk about food. That's a label.
Yes.
Food is not healthy or unhealthy. Eating one salad will not make you healthy, just like eating one pizza will not make you unhealthy. So it's a collection of what you're doing over the course of your lifetime, collection of your habits or lack thereof. So food is food. Okay. You might enjoy some of it. Maybe you don't like some of it. And some of it's more nutrient dense, and so, some of it has no nutrients whatsoever, but it tastes good as fuck and it's good for our mental health. So that's the important thing that I want to make note of. So, stop labeling food there.
Right. Yeah. So all foods can be included.
Yes, exactly. Let's see here. You got any other ones that you've seen?
I do. Finding my Zen life. How long should you be in a deficit for? Should you have a diet break at all?
Ooh, I love that question too.
Yes. These are great questions.
Yes.
Tag, you're it.
Okay. You want me to take it?
Oh, sure. I meant punch buggy, you're it, because I think
the
same thing.
I got you. No, go ahead. It was your question.
Oh no, you go. I want you to answer.
All right. I'll do the honors. So the question is how long should you be in a calorie deficit should you take diet breaks, right?
Yep.
Yes. The answer to the diet break question is yes. You should absolutely take diet breaks. How long should you be in a deficit is individual, but you could look at it in like 12-week blocks or something like that, like 12 to 16 weeks or so. I think, Beth, right now your cut that you're doing is 12 weeks or something like that. Or was it only 8?
It's like 8 to 10.
8 to 10, right in that sweet spot.
Short.
Like you say, you want to get in and get the fuck out. So you can't live in a calorie deficit forever. It's not safe. It's not sustainable.
It's not fun.
That forever. So it's not possible. But I would say about 12 to 16 weeks in a 80% or so consistent calorie deficit. Progress will be slower because of that, but that's okay. We're in this for the long run. That's how you get sustainable results. And then, maybe a 2 to 4 week reverse or maintenance phase then as well. As a very general guideline.
It is, and I feel like sometimes it's different. Like you said, it's different for everyone. Like if you have a lot of weight to lose and you're in a moderate calorie deficit, you could probably go a little longer.
Right.
But if you are, don't have a lot of weight to lose and you're kind of close to your goal, you don't want to go that long, and you want to, give yourself a little break.
And the diet break if you've done your calorie deficit right and slow and controlled, the diet break isn't as important because you haven't done that crash diet where you didn't lose a lot of weight right away and you didn't take a big hit on your metabolism.
Right.
Still, but not that huge.
Not as severe.
Yeah.
Okay. Virginia Strom, I'm going to answer this because she said, question for Beth. I think you said you had a Facebook group, but wasn't sure if it was free or just for coaching. Virginia, I have a group coaching Facebook group that runs every 3 months. My next round starts the second week of February, and it's a closed group, and it is a paid group.
Okay.
And information for that will get sent out through email. So if you're on my email list,
no, that's like actual full-on group coaching, right? So
it's group coaching. I do like Zoom coaching calls every Monday. It's very involved, and I cap the group to 50 so I can keep it small.
Yeah, for sure. And those groups usually fill up for you too, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
And I'll throw my 2 cents in there. I don't have anything like Beth has with the group coaching, but I do have.
You have a Facebook group, right?
Yep, free Facebook group. I don't do what Beth does with like the calls and stuff because it's a free thing, but I do try to do stuff like that every once in a while. But I've got a free workout plan in there, and I post some nutrition and mindset stuff in there occasionally too. So check that out.
What's the name of it?
Oh yeah, great question. It's the Fit Fat Training Team.
All right.
we're 4,000 members strong in that group, which is amazing. All my coaches are in that group too. So come get to know us, come hang out.
Nice.
Yes.
Yes.
We've almost gotten all the questions gone through, I think. Let's see here. How to handle anxiety. I don't want to cover that one just because that's kind of outside of our scope of practice.
Yeah. And then the weight loss after gallbladder removed. I hear it's hard to lose weight. Yeah, that's more medical, I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, you need to make sure that you're medically cleared to do so. And then whoever you hire should work with your doctor or whoever on that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got one here. Tranquilite_peace said, I am at my ideal weight, 140 pounds. I gained muscles, but I can't see them. I don't want to lose weight. You don't need to lose weight. If you don't want to lose weight, then don't.
Right.
Now, what you can do is if you continue eating at around 8 maintenance level calories, you can still continue building muscle at a more ideal rate, and your body could go through what's known as a body recomposition.
Mm-hmm.
You'd still potentially lose some fats while building muscle and just changing the way your body looks. And if you're really not worried, I don't like the ideal weight thing because I don't like using ideal weight and goal weight and things like that. But
yeah,
that's my take on it. What about you?
Yeah, I feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if she already doesn't want to lose weight, then but I would just keep pushing the weights in the gym, get that protein in, and I mean it's going to take a while. Like,
yeah,
keep going.
Yeah. You have a question? I see another one that we haven't gotten to yet. We got a couple of them actually.
Let's see.
So I see. Want me to take one?
Sure.
Why does PP fat seem like it takes longer to burn off? I'm assuming that's postpartum, right?
Okay. Yep.
So, sorry, anybody, if you're like, what? Why does postpartum fat seem like it takes longer to burn off? This isn't really my expertise. I don't know. Like, I don't work with postpartum women, but
me neither.
My assumption here is because your hormones are still crazy. Also, like, if you're postpartum, first of all, you work with your doctor and make sure you should even be trying to lose weight. I want to put that disclaimer out there because that can be very taxing on your body, especially if you're milk, breastfeeding. So definitely consult with your doctor about that one.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, multimedia, multi-dimensional J. Sorry,
tongue twister.
Oh my God, he's going to be on our podcast.
He is.
Yes.
In a couple weeks, I think.
Yep. So your best tips when managing nutrition when you stress eat over a toxic job.
Ooh, stress eating. Great question.
That would be really like changing your habits around stress. Really.
Yeah.
Coming up with things that make you joy or give you joy, I should say.
Outlets for managing your stress other than food is what you need.
Yes.
It can be breathing techniques. It can be meditation. It can be journaling. We journal with a lot of our clients. Walking, great way. Yeah. If you have in that moment, you can, but also breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Don't underestimate the power of breath work. It can do a lot to help with that fight or flight response. Like earlier on this podcast, when my fight or flight was starting to get triggered when we were talking about that subject, I told myself to breathe. And I don't know if you heard or not, but I actually didn't inhale and exhale, big one. And that helps you control that stress.
Yeah. What is it? You breathe in, you hold for 10 seconds and then breathe out for 10 seconds. And
yeah, that's a good one to do.
Repeat. It really helps.
Breathe in and then exhale through your mouth. And what I like to do is breathe in and I'll hold it in for like a second or two and then breathe out as hard as I can. That's one way that I do it. Yep.
Good question. Multi-dimensional media.
Jay.
If I even said that right again. I think that's kind of it.
It's kind of it. Okay. I'm just looking. There is one in here that could be, I don't know. Having a hard time with my spouse. He wants nothing to do with gym or healthy eating, his prerogative. That question got kind of cut off, and I don't want to put anybody's name on there because of the sensitive nature of that subject. But
right.
I guess I didn't see what the rest of that question was. It cut off.
Let me see if I can find it. Can you read that again? It was the
having a hard time with my spouse. He wants nothing to do with gym or healthy eating, his prerogative. And then it looks like it got cut off. So
okay. So let me see if it's still in my feed. Sometimes it is.
Because that can be a big rift in relationships. Is
yes,
when one person's trying to get healthy and go to the gym and the other has no interest in it. For some people, that can be a huge issue for some people.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's important to note that it's okay that his goals are different than yours.
Yeah.
First, my husband does not work out. He has a moving company, so he's lifting heavy shit all the time. And we both like to do different stuff activity wise, but we communicate. So I think also communication is huge.
Yeah, communication is huge. Yeah, and being open and non-judgmental.
Yeah, have that conversation and ask him just to support you. He doesn't have to do what you're doing. And I maybe don't know if you expect him to do that, but don't have that expectation either.
Yeah, and if you can't support each other, there's a problem there.
Right.
But also, don't try to push your way of doing your new healthy lifestyle on him either. Just like you want him to push his unhealthy habits on you. Granted, yes, they're healthy habits, but you can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. Exactly. So they're going to have to come to that conclusion on their own. You can talk what you can do is maybe when you get back from the gym, you can just say, oh my God, that workout was so amazing. I feel so good. I'm so happy I went. My mood is so good. And you can just talk about how you actually feel after you work out and things like that. Not to gloat, not to boast about it, but just to show how it's impacting you. And maybe that starts to get him thinking and thinking about his own choices. I don't know. I'm not a relationship expert though. I'm single for a reason. So all right. I think that might be all of them.
Yeah, there's one about there's a couple that aren't really a
couple of them I didn't really the sad face.
Something about magnesium and pooping.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. That would be, I would consult with a registered dietitian or a doctor that specializes in something like that.
Yep. And someone asked me about first form reds and greens, I think. And I think that's something honestly, are you getting enough? I think it's important to get enough fruits and veggies. What does your diet look like before you're looking at a supplement? Supplements are they're just supplements. So is it, do you not like the taste of veggies and fruits? Is it that kind of thing? Because some people really have a texture thing where they can't. There's all different things. So maybe you could DM me and I could talk to you more about that. But I really think it's important to ask what does your diet look like in the first place before you supplement? Always,
supplements are there to literally do that, guys. Supplement things we're missing.
Could be good, and you may be something you need, and it maybe it's something that you don't need. But
and I don't give specific supplement suggestions even to my own clients. Actually, I'll give protein supplementation suggestions and creatine, of course, but nothing other than that, because I don't personally take any supplements. I just feel like for me that it's not something I'm comfortable doing. So I do have a registered dietitian on my team though, where she could do that if she wants to. So, all right. That is all of our questions, I think, for today.
Yes.
Christmas
in awesome. Great days. Questions.
Yeah, great questions.
What is it? The 22nd? Yeah, we have freezing rain right now, so we can't drive anywhere.
Gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it hasn't snowed or anything here yet in Ohio. It's pretty crazy. It's been very, very mild. Very mild.
Yeah.
All right. Weird. Well, Beth, that was a good episode.
That was awesome.
Hopefully you guys loved it as well.
Yeah, if this goes well, we'll try to do more of these. I like these questions.
For sure.
A lot of them weren't weight loss related, which
I'm actually really fucking happy about that, because
so happy about that.
At this point, I'm just tired of talking about
I am,
because there's so much more to life than weight loss, guys.
We got to focus on our habits rather
Yes.
than weight loss. Focus on your health. Like, that's so much more important. That's going to get you way farther than trying to figure out a fucking number on the scale. I mean,
focus on being strong. I'd rather talk to you about being strong 10 times out of 10
know?
rather than how, calorie deficit, honestly.
Right.
And if you also start focusing on being strong and improving your daily habits, your body will change to reflect that.
Yeah, that kind of falls into place.
I promise you. Get stronger and move more, go on more daily walks, and don't eat like an asshole all the time,
Right.
All right.
Don't do daily eat like an asshole.
Yeah, maybe once or twice a week or something. I don't know. I haven't eaten like an asshole lately. Not since last week. I've been pretty spot on with my nutrition lately.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Because I've been pushing myself so hard in the gym. I've been seeing some insane strength gains in the gym.
Nice. That's awesome.
And it's because of my nutrition's a little bit more dialed in right now.
It makes a difference.
And my sleep. I can't my nutrition and my sleep. It's always been one or the other for me, especially when I'm traveling. It's neither actually, but.
And you were traveling for a little bit there for a while.
I had a heavy 6-month period where I was traveling a lot. So
yeah.
So that makes sense why I'm seeing the performance improvements that I am now. And consequently, my body composition is changing too the last couple of months because of that. So
yeah, I noticed in your photo, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like your upper body.
Yeah, for sure. My shoulders are getting pretty broad actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, thank you. You too. Also, your cut is coming along really well too, right? Do you want to give a quick update? I think so.
On that? Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's going. I know I'm losing inches for sure, but the scale, like I said, it's so funny. My scale went up like 2 pounds. I'm basically back where I started on the scale, right?
Yeah.
And,
I saw that more.
Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking quit. And then I started getting all these messages like, oh my God, that would make me so mad. Da 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 da. And I was like, why? I go, did you read my next slide? I go, it's no big deal. I'm like, I didn't gain fucking 2 pounds of fat overnight. It just doesn't work like that. You guys have to let go of that, looking for that like golden number.
Yeah.
What is it going to be today? Like, look at it and be like, oh yeah, no big deal.
There it is.
I know I'm doing everything right.
Yeah.
I know I'm slightly fucking hungry every single day. So it's like
you're that's one way of knowing you're probably in a calorie deficit. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And so it's like I'm measuring things.
We'll do a full episode. Let's do a full episode on that subject, because maybe then we can really help change people's mind about that. Maybe we can bring somebody in to talk to us about that too, just to get a third perspective on it. So
I'll be taking monthly photos in like 5 days. So
nice.
I took like 2-week measurements and they all went down. So it's
boom. It's working. It's fucking working.
Yeah. It's like, this is not my first rodeo.
Right. Yeah. So. All right, Beth, this was fun.
All right, Matt. Yeah.
And that is a wrap for this episode of Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt. Did we help you cut through the bullshit? We want to know. Send us a DM on Instagram and share your thoughts. We'd love to hear them. And if you did find this one helpful, why not share this episode with a friend? I know I personally love it when a friend shares their favorite podcast with me, along with a text saying, oh my God, you have got to check out this podcast. You'll love it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss